Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Forbes. I'm one of the young people. I'm going to introduce to Monica, Sinead, and today we're going to talk about mental health. We feel that there is still a lack of mental health services. The waiting times to see someone is long, between 6 to 8 weeks or longer, depending on where you live in Northern Ireland. I know there is help out there, so good organisations like Lighthouse, Lifeline and PIP. Some of these places have waiting times, but one, Lifeline, you can phone anytime for support. We, as people come across with mental health, we feel government should invest more into mental health services. We would like to see somewhere in Northern Ireland where people of all ages with mental health can go and get the help. Something like supported homes or a hospital. We need more prevention around mental health in young people to try and stop suicide happening across Northern Ireland. Every year, the suicide rate is up. For the statistics we got from last year, the first half of 2020, 102 suicide deaths reported in Northern Ireland, as NASA estimates that their overall suicide figure for this year will be somewhere between 200 and 220, roughly in line with the PFC figures from 2019 and the expressed from figures from 2015 to 2018. In 2020, throughout lockdown, people's mental health has hit rock bottom. This is due to being restricted to not being allowed to see family or friends, and being in the house more has a knock-on effect. As a personal experience shading from March 2020 until August 2020, felt as a prisoner in my own home. Missed meeting friends for playing sports that I love. Couldn't just go to shops. Routines shattered, but more frustrations. Confidence hit a rack time low, and attitudes changed.
Yeah, I think everybody's mental health kind of went a bit, so it did, because you were in the house and you couldn't meet up with your friends, or you couldn't see your family, and it was just maybe, say, you and a parent in a house, or you and like one person, or you and all of your siblings and your parents. Do you know what I mean? So it was a lot, and you were seeing the same people every day, and you were clashing. So you were. Yeah. And then when you were allowed to go out, and you were only allowed maybe to your family's homes, you were still clashing because you weren't allowed to meet other people. So you were still clashing with your family because you're spending so much time with the same people every day. And you were bound, it was bound to affect your mental health by, so much frustrating you.
How did you overcome your challenge of being in the house with family? I know for me, I stayed in my room and took time out. What did you do?
So did I. I had to go out in my room and watch Netflix. And then I started going out for, walks, maybe once a day, just to get breaks.
Sinead, what was your personal experience of throughout lockdown?
Well, I lost my job due to redundancy. But I got a puppy instead. Mm-hmm. We go for walks every morning, and we try and go for twice a day, but we're still only managing once a day.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to get out, clear that head.
Yeah.
Get around.
I remember, though, personally walking through the waterworks, and it was when lockdown just first lifted. Mm-hmm. And you were only allowed to go out for a walk, and I was walking through the waterworks, and I had a face mask and all on, and there was so many people, I took like a panic attack. I couldn't breathe because I freaked out with so many people. And I think it was just you seeing everything on the news, and you got so paranoid, and I was just like, I can't watch the news anymore. I can't read anything because I know for a fact it will go to my head, and it will get to the point where I'll be like, I'm gonna panic myself to death about this.
Yeah.
And then sure, I ended up getting it at Christmas.
Yeah, there's also an awful lot of stress especially around young disabled people. Once there was stuff coming across that not getting, if it caught COVID, you weren't going to get a life support machine. We thought that our mental health had an actual impact. You were actually, like for me, I was afraid to sit with my family in my own home in case I was going to get it and wasn't going to get the chance to live. That's a lot of pressure on us.
I think that's what made it worse for me at the time, being paranoid about it, because it was at the time where I think it was a man in the newspaper, it came out about him dying because he didn't get the life support or something, and it was because of him having the disability. I think wasn't it a learning disability or something?
I think so, yeah.
And my younger cousin has one, and I have one. And I was going, if we take this, we won't get it. So I had to sit down and I had to tell my family about it. And I was going, like, this is really, really freaky for me now. It was really hitting home then.
I know. And it was tough for a lot of us until it was refactored by Disability Action. Thanks for them to get clarity. And that took a lot of pressure off young people when they stated that it was going to happen. And they worked for it. They fought their voice in that. So next one is, even though the vaccine is still rolling out, but some people cannot take due to medical conditions. I am one of these people. I feel like it's going on, but I feel like I'm going to be left behind. Is this a restriction for life for me? What's your opinions on that one?
See, that's the thing. That's the worrying part about it. Like the vaccine on people that can't get it. Do you know what I mean? Like you worry about that because when it first came out, they said that it was going to be like a booster. Do you know what I mean? Like your flu vaccine, like a daily thing now. So it is like a yearly thing. So you're going, for people like the sake of Joe that can't get it. It's like, they're still going to be at risk because you're at the risk of every time you get your flu injection, you're still at the risk of getting the flu as well.
Yeah.
So it's still, either way, you're still at the risk of getting COVID every year.
Yeah, I know.
So it's still a worry on your mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is indeed. And there's a lot of worry as well because once, don't know what way it's going to plan out. For once, they can't take a vaccine if they're talking about COVID passports and stuff. That's people, mental health who feel when they get the vaccine, their mental health can be 10 times worse.
Yeah, it's a scary thing right now.
Yeah. Sinead, what do you think?
I'm hoping to get the vaccine because I want to go on holidays again. But my granddad got COVID. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks with COVID. Yeah. And he nearly didn't make it. But then he managed to get better with the CPAC machine. And he's home now and he's got his first vaccine, his first jab in him. And my granny has the jab as well. My mum has the jab. So hopefully.
Do you feel more safe if other people have the vaccine around you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would prefer a lot of people got the injection for themselves. So because my whole family got it and we all got it around the same time, which means we don't know who got it first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we all got it at Christmas and we don't know who got it first, who gave it to who, all that type of stuff. My granddad ended up with dementia from it.
Yeah.
So we don't know, what happened in all that sense, because it was really tough, do you know what I mean? So you kind of don't know how other people are affected by it, do you know what I mean? It's elderly people.
Yeah.
How they're affected by it, they're affected more.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, and that's why you kind of need to consider other people. I think I always said that at the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
Because, like, as it said, we could get the sunflower lanyards.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got it because I was considering other people. So I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing the face mask to consider other people, to keep other people safe.
I do wear the face mask, but I also have a lanyard as well, just in case when I do take like a panic attack, I can take the face mask off and put the lanyard on.
Yeah.
It'll give me a bit of breathing space.
Mm-hmm.
The face mask always gives me like a headaches and all and stuff like that. But I think it's from my epilepsy, because when I get really, really warm and stuff, it can give me like seizures. But so I think that's what it is. But I still wear them for other people's sakes.
Yeah, I know, and it's good as well. But to keep other people safe too.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Social media. What effects does social media have on mental health?
Everything, I'd say. What doesn't it have? Like, it scares me more now than it did when I myself was younger, because of when we were younger, we didn't have, like, low iPads constantly and iPhones constantly and everything, so we weren't on it all the time.
Yeah.
But my younger cousin, she loves her phone. She's never off her phone. So it can, like, she's on TikTok all the time and things like that.
Yeah.
And things it really scares me, social media, because of all the trends and things like that. And I'm just kind of like, you don't really. There was the time, do you remember? Was it months ago? They said, take your kids off TikTok, because there was like, somebody like killed themselves on TikTok.
I think so. I'll get draft off it.
I was like, oh my God. And it just freaked me out. I was like, that's what scares me so much now about social media.
I feel social media in a way can help people with mental health. They know what the support is, so you can just type in mental health support and Northern Ireland and come back. First thing what comes up is the lifeline number on Google search. Contact anytime. I do think, and that helps with also through mental health social media. They can show you where to go for the help, i.e. through the different organisations across Northern Ireland, what's represented across. It helps.
I do agree in some aspects of social media, like with the self-help and stuff there's a lot of, like self-help pages and a lot of things that, like self-help quotes and things like that do help you, and you can get a lot of help from them. And some TV shows and documentaries, you get a lot of help from them and stuff like that. So I do agree in some aspects.
Yeah.
So I do like it in some aspects, and some TV shows do send out certain messages and things like that. But it's okay to be who you are, and not to be afraid and stuff like that. But the other part of it is, when they show things like models and the diets and things like that, where you're kind of going, kids want to be like that then.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the thing where you're going.
Sinead, what's your view on around social media around mental health?
Same as Monica, like there is some good things about it, and then there's some bad.
I think it's because as girls, we've been through them aspects of it. Maybe teenagers, you go through them aspects of looking at the models and going, oh, I'll try that. Or you could, try and like with spots and all, try and like the toothpaste on your spots at night and all that when you see it all on the magazines and things like that, and you're like, doesn't work. But you do all stupid things like that just because it says a celebrity does it.
So next question, right, it's around schools and around young people. How has children's mental health been impacted due to remote learning? My experience is looking around and seeing the kids. I've seen what's an impact with their confidence and their way of prayer, way they look at things in life, and way they look at things with work through the work and stuff. They can't health. You try to work in the house with them. They can't concentrate in school. They can't more in school and remote learning. What's your opinion on that, Sinead?
They're better off in school where they have a routine and they go in and they have the same teachers, even though they're online. But if they're in school, they have the same teachers, their same pupils they always have the same pupils in their classroom, but they will interact more with their peers. They will have a chance to go outside and play with their peers, and the teachers will be able to help them individually and as a group.
Yeah, that's true. Because where they this lockdown, most kids didn't get the chance to see their friends or get out to play football and stuff. It was like mostly video games was keeping them active with their mates, and that hasn't met them well with their.
I know, because I have a lot of younger cousins, and they're all still in school. They're in secondary school age, and they're suffering, like their mental health suffering a lot.
Do you remember your mummy would say to you, if you sit too close to the TV or something, you would get like square eyes?
Yeah.
Did you ever get that said to you?
Well, I kind of have square eyes anyway, because I've got...
No, I used to get that said to me. Like, you get square eyes if you sit too close to the TV.
One of my younger cousins, he keeps on sitting really close to the TV. He was maybe 4 or 5 when we were overseas, and he keeps on sitting close to the TV, and we keep on saying, come back, go back to your seat. I'm obviously not naming his name, but he'll go back, you're going to get square eyes, can you sit back?
Yeah, I think and that's the thing, and then, but now it's the iPad, and you're going, stop.
My mummy sits like this here on her phone on her iPad. I'm like, Mummy, you have glasses.
But because of COVID, they're like, here you go.
Yeah.
So I think with like education wise though, they are at the stage where they're going, I know my cousin had to pick her subjects. In secondary school, she had to pick her subject, and she was saying that because they weren't in the school to pick their subjects, they sent it out on the phones, and it was difficult to pick them because it was on the phones and everything. And then now the one, she's doing her work, but she also wants time with her friends as well. Some days she's like, I'm not going to do my work today, I'm just going to leave it to later. And then some days it's all piled on just in one day.
Yeah, so to finish off, it's okay. It's not okay. You are more precious to this world than you'll ever know. So always to keep that in mind, people, that there's always love. Even though you can't see the days, days are dark, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and keep going, and don't be afraid to ask.
And listen, if you're having a bad day, listen to happy music. That always picks your spirits up.
Or even just the radio.
Yeah, and your friends are only a phone call away.
Thank you for listening to this podcast today. I hope this helps.